Okay, so Alvanor blocks most basic attack damage from just about every single hero in the game.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in today's video, we're going to talk about Alvanor, the new Guardian of the Elves that's just recently been added to Hero Wars Mobile. Now, this hero is going to be added during the Winter Festival event, whatever it ends up looking like. How specifically you earn him is going to involve doing quests to accumulate currency. It also might be defeating bosses to accumulate currency and then using that currency to purchase star evolutions from the Alvanor shop, as we saw in a teaser video earlier today. Now, if this is your first time joining me, I like to do educational, informational videos about Hero Wars and Hero Wars Mobile. If that sounds like you, please consider subscribing. And while you're considering a subscription to my YouTube channel, this is a great time to mention that Raging Turnip is the winner of last week's sweepstakes. Congratulations, Raging Turnip. Thanks for playing and all of that. Get a hold of me on Discord. We will get you sorted right away. Okay, so Alvanor. Alvanor is an elf. Elves are the new role, the new undead tag, if you will. There are 5 elves in the game with the addition of Alvanor. You've got Aurora, Darkstar, who's gotten a rework, and we'll do a video about her next. You've got Kai, who also recently got a rework, a lot more damage out of him. You got Thea, and now you got Alvanor. All right, fantastic group, and you're going to see with some of Alvanor's skills that you might consider building an elf team of your own. In fact, I think there's going to be higher synergy than that undead team that first came out with on Hero Wars Mobile. So let's talk about Alvanor with the stats. Let's talk about, he's an intelligence hero. He's a support mage. He does damage. He heals. He also does a little bit of slow effects, and I'm pretty excited to talk about those abilities with you in just a second. On screen now, you can see his strength, intelligence, agility, etc., etc., etc. I'll also put on here now how he ranks against other heroes with the mobile max stats chart that I have on HeroWarsCentral.com. Worth noting is that Alvanor provides his own magic penetration, which is exceptional, considering that not a lot of mages do that. And his artifacts, Alvanor's artifact is magic attack. His book is magic attack and magic penetration. That's where some of his magic penetration stat comes from. And of course, Alvanor's ring, artifact ring, is going to be intelligence. His glyphs are magic attack, health, magic penetration, magic resist, and intelligence. This being a support hero, chances are you're going to want to level up that health first, although depending on how much damage we actually see him putting out, you might want to consider leveling up that magic penetration first. Having a high magic penetration will definitely allow some of his abilities to do a lot more damage, but if you're only bringing him around to keep your elves alive, then health would definitely be more important. Speaking of abilities that keeps elves alive, we're going to talk about that later. First, we're going to talk about the ultimate ability, Runes of Ice. Alvanor conjures 5 runes of ice in front of himself and launches them at enemies. It doesn't really show it very well in the teaser video that we've got, but these all will only hit the nearest enemy. This will damage and slow the target. Of course, chance to resist if the target's level is above 120. Now, what we're going to see here is a great control ability against all kinds of active tanks and those teams that don't use a tank up front. Teams that use Anvari, teams that use Galahad, Luther, or Cleaver are going to be effectively slowed down, which I think is going to be fantastic. It really is going to depend on how fast Alvanor ults compared to them. Will we still see Jorgen being used? Jorgen's not technically an elf, although some argue that he should be. He's actually a satyr, so fun fact there. Green ability, Rune of Life. This is Alvanor's heal. This is a area of effect heal, which means he heals all of his allies once per second, so it's a heal over time. This does do a ton of healing at max. However, all elves, all allied elves, I should say, all the elves on your team are healed twice as much, regardless of the healing source. Now, what we don't quite catch yet, and I don't know if the nuances are if I'm overthinking this or not, I don't know if Rune of Life means that all the time elves are healed doubly, or if only during this ability is active, elves are healed double. You see what I'm saying? It reads, while the rune is active, all allied elves are healed twice as effectively regardless of the healing source. I'm not sure why they would add that in if... I guess it's probably referring to other healing sources like Thea's heal, since Thea is an elf. I'm probably overthinking this. So Alvanor heals the area of effect, heals everybody on the allied side. Elves get healed doubly so. Fantastic healing ability. Blue ability is Rune of Fire. Alvanor invokes the power of the Rune of Fire, unleashing it on the 2 nearest enemies. Each target takes a bunch of damage. So this is going to hit the enemy tank and that enemy warrior, or marksman, or whoever's in the second position. Rune of Earth. This is the Violet ability, and this is another curious ability. Alvanor activates a Rune of Earth to protect his allies. While the rune is active, allies take decreased damage from basic attacks. And you can see here that the Rune of Earth is always active for elves. So Violet abilities are traditionally passive abilities, which means that they're active all of the time. However, this is saying when Alvanor activates a Rune of Earth to protect his allies, it's also saying that the Rune of Earth is always active for elves. There is a skill timeout of 11 seconds. So 2 seconds into the fight, the skill will activate, and then the skill timeout is every 11 seconds the skill will activate. The Rune of Earth is always active for elves. I'm not sure. Maybe, again, I'm overthinking this. Who knows? Who knows exactly what this is going to look like? But fantastic set of abilities that we have here. Again, that elf team. We've got Aurora. We've got Alvanor. We've got Thea, Kai, and Darkstar, not necessarily in that order. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this is going to go. We don't exactly have the battle order set aside yet. I'll add that on screen now if I get it between the time of editing this video and publishing the video. But Christmas in Dominion is happening in the next 30 hours or so. We're going to have access to Alvanor. We're going to be able to play test him a little bit. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how effective an elf team is. In fact, I'm probably going to do Undead for one of my Grand Arena teams, Elves for another Grand Arena team, and then we're going to throw in the Kark Blender for my good friend Bevan for the third team. And that's going to be Grand Arena on mobile. Is it going to be meta? Probably not. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, though. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.